Hey, and welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna be replacing the radiator on this 2002 BMW 525i. Alright, now, for a rule of thumb, something that I like to do is I like to check all the parts. That way I can tell how the part goes, if there's any bolts that, I don't see at first. So we're gonna go ahead and open this up and see how this is supposed to go inside the car. When working with radiators, you always want to be careful not to damage the fins. Alright, so we're just gonna go ahead and very carefully cut that open. Alright, so here as we can see, it's got two mounts at the bottom, two mount clips. Got a hose that goes across the top, two main hoses, upper and lower, the two upper mounts, alright, along with what appears to be two quick release clips, plastic release clips. Okay, line up here, another one over here. Just so we can get a better shot at that. Alright. So here's a guide. These two are guides. These are mounts. Turn it around. Another guide and another guide. Okay. So now let's go ahead and get started removing the radiator from the car. First thing we're going to want to do before we do anything else is drain the fluid out of the radiator. Alright, let's get this thing up in the air. Alright, now that we're down here, as you can see, I got pliers in my hands. The only reason we need these right now is going to be to unscrew the drain valve for the radiator. Alright, so let's go ahead and get that started. Something else we can do just to make sure that all the coolant does come out, right, is we're just going to pump some pressure into it. Alrighty, now that we're back underneath the car, as we can see right here, right there, we have a connector. Right, so we're gonna go ahead and disconnect that, and then we'll go ahead and dismount these hoses as well. Alright, here we go. I don't know how well you can see that, but there we go. Right up in there, we appear to have a screw. So let's go ahead and take care of that. That bolt right there is going to be a T20 torque bit. So let's go ahead and get that unscrewed and get this bracket out. We've gotten the screw off. Alright, you're just gonna go ahead and pull it out, pull up and outwards. As you can see, we have a sensor right there and a sensor right there. So we're gonna go ahead and unplug those because they gotta come out. Alright, so we don't pull anything. That's it, they're already disconnected. Alrighty, now we can move on to the top. Alright guys, now that we're back on top, what we're gonna be looking for is gonna be that connector right there. We're going to disconnect this hose. We have a plastic clip right there. This one right here. Alright. As well as on this side, okay? And we also want to disconnect the bottom hose. So we're probably going to need to get back under the radiator for that. Hopefully not. But let's go ahead and get started. Very careful. You can just slowly pry. All right. This might be a little tedious, but we want to be very careful not to break anything. There we go. And it's out. All right. So we're going to try and do the same thing on this side. All right. Now, as you can see, here is the bottom radiator hose. All right. If you follow it along, you can see the silver clip right there. So what I'm going to do is, once again, I'm going to grab my pick and we're going to go ahead and take that off. We're finally able to break the fan loose. All right. So remember, righty loosey, lefty tighty on this one. Once you get to this point, you're going to have this hose that's connected to the reservoir. So we're going to go ahead and disconnect that. All right. You can see it's just a flathead or something like a 6 or 5 mil. Once again, remember the orientation. Remember, there's a hose at the top. All right. Ah, you spilled all my fucking coolant. All right, we have the new radiator installed. All right, as you can see, I just went ahead and just put the bracket on it, but they're not tying down. Okay, so you're gonna have a rubber grommet on each side. All right, and where they go is, I'll show you in the old one. One goes right there. All right, and one on the other side. And that's it. Those are the only mounting points. All right, it's back in there. All right, well, the battery on my flashlight died, so now we gotta use this other light. So what we want to do now that we're done here is we want to line up these brackets. And sure enough, they're in. Whoop. Now, just retrace your steps. Remember, T20 at the bottom. All right. And don't forget the plastic clips that hold it on top. Now that pretty much everything is put back together at the bottom, let's go ahead and just finish the top. Remember, plastic clips need to go back. Alright guys, and with that, this is the end of the video. Everything is put back together, the car runs. I left it running for a couple of minutes, it didn't overheat. No more leaks, the car is good. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, leave a comment on what else you'd like to do, and subscribe. Thank you guys.